Welcome back to Faking It Friday, where we recap MTV show Faking It, and the most exciting episode of the season.
The only one that anyone needs to watch. We are recapping episode 19. What do you think this episode was called? I think this episode was called Finally Been Kissed.
And I think this episode was called Drunk Straight Girls at a Party. Bad times or good times? Double walk of shame with Karma and Gay Scout. Amy brings over some coffee and Karma decides to paint a picture of the threesome for Amy. Shane also does the same with Honey Douche Face, but we really hate both of their versions, so let us tell you ours.
So here's what really went down at that threesome. So Bye Guy, Gay Scout, and Karma are all in the room. And then Bye Guy and Gay Scout are like, Karma, why don't you go into room 515 instead? And Karma's like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, I'll just go, whatever.
All
So
right.
she like gets the fuck out of that threesome, and she goes into 515, and there's Amy, waiting in bed for her, naked. This is a fan fiction, Sarah. This is what happens.
All right, I'm rolling with it. Keep going.
So you go in, and then they do it, because that's what people do when they're in love with each other.
Okay.
And then Amy's like, oh my god, Karma, I love you so much. And Karma's like, I wanted forever to say that I love you too. And there's like, whoas, and there's I knows. And then they live happily ever after, and that's the end of the show.
Evil stepsister invites Tommy over for some sex, but he brings a bunch of friends and it turns into a huge party. Karma says it's all over Tumblr. And I wonder if she saw my blog,
I hope not.
KarmaandAmyForeverILoveThem.com.
Anyway, so it's like, you know, your typical high school house party.
Yeah.
There's like body shots, substitute teachers, people puking up lentils, PG-13 nipples. But why are we wasting our time talking about this when we could just get right to the most important scene in the entire series so far?
Cut to the end.
So Karma is schmammered. So Amy goes over to the pool to ask Karma why she lied about the threesome.
And Amy thinks Karma is jealous of Feeliver and likes him. Amy, she likes you. Why can't anyone see this?
Are we the only ones? It's so obvious. Evil stepsister shuts off the lights to the house to set the mood for Karma and Amy, but then Karma ends up falling into the pool.
Now this is interesting. And Amy jumps in after her because she's a fucking gentleman.
They both resurface and apologize to each other, and they're like this far apart, like this.
Amy tells Karma that she's perfect and she basically wants her babies. And Karma's like, oh my god, I love you too. Our babies are gonna have great nipples.
They're gonna have great nipples, great nipple babies. Karma hugs Amy, and then when they pull away, and Karma kisses Amy. This is the first time that Karma has ever kissed Amy when no one was looking and it wasn't for attention.
Oh my god.
Because the lights were on and no one could see them in the pool.
So now Amy is totally fucked, as we can see by her face. And Karma tries to play the whole thing off like, oh my god, I was so drunk. But we could tell that she's faking it.
We can tell when you really want to kiss someone versus when you're fake kissing someone. That's the end of the episode. The crazy episode.
We've been all waiting for that.
Oh my god.
Everyone give yourself a pat on the back for waiting.
What was your rating for this episode based on Kristen Stewart filmography? I rate this episode a Snow White and the Huntsman because I could just watch it over and over again.
Ooh. And I'm gonna rate this episode a Panic Room because the entire Carmi fandom needs to be like locked up in order to contain the explosion that has come
The explosion of feels.
from this episode.
Too many feels.
Leave a comment with your rating for the episode and leave a comment if you think she was faking it. Was she drunk? Was she into it? Did she
Why'd she
want
do
to
it?
fake
Why'd she kiss her? What do you think?
What's happening?
Thumbs up for that kiss. Thank you for watching Faking It Friday, where we recap MTV show Faking It.
And tune in next Faking It Friday, where we are recapping the season finale. So everyone is getting ready for prom, and Amy comes down in a smoking hot suit. Women in suits.
Yes.
Yes.
So much yes.
Just yes.
All the yes.
yes.
Yes.